After the night Bakugo found you, wearing Midoriya's hoodie, you catch him in the laundry room, adding a specific fabric softener that you once mentioned you like to a load of his own hoodies. When you call him out on being a closet romantic who wants his clothes to smell like your favorite thing, does he blow up the washing machine in embarrassment, or does he finally admit he's been doing it for months? The common room was freezing. You didn't notice at first. You'd been curled up on the couch for the better part of an hour, legs tucked under you, textbook open in your lap, while the autumn wind rattled the windows of the UA dorms. But by the time you'd read the same paragraph 4 times without absorbing a single word, you finally register the goosebumps crawling up your arms. Ugh, this is so boring. You dropped the book and looked around. The room was mostly empty. Kirishima had gone to the gym an hour ago. Bakugo. Well, he'd learned not to track Bakugo's schedule unless you wanted to be yelled at for hovering. You were alone, except for Midoriya, who sat at the far end of the couch with his own mountains of notebooks, scribbling furiously in the margins like a man possessed. He eyed his hoodie. It was oversized, soft-looking, green, with the faded All Might logo on the chest, laundered so many times the image had gone gentle and worn, comfortable in the specific way that other people's clothes always seemed to be. Hey, Deku. You nudged his knee with your foot. Can I borrow your hoodie? It's freezing in here. Midoriya looked up, blinked, and then smiled that earnest, slightly awkward smile of his. Oh, yeah, of course. He was already pulling it over his head, leaving his hair a disaster. I run warm anyway, it's fine. You're a lifesaver. He shrugged it on. It smelled like laundry detergent and something faintly herbaceous, and it swallowed your hands entirely. He pulled the sleeves over your knuckles and went back to your textbook, immediately warmer. That was when the elevator dinged. He heard Kirishima first, his laugh, loud and bright, echoing into the room a half second before the doors opened. Told you that you were going to pull something if you didn't stretch. Shut up. I didn't pull anything. Bro, you were limping. I was walking with purpose. They came through the common room entrance together, both still in gym clothes, Kirishima's red hair falling loose from where it had escaped his headband. He spotted you immediately, face breaking into a wide grin. Hey, you're still up. He stopped, tilted his head. Is that Midoriya's hoodie? The silence that followed was very loud. You looked up. Kirishima's expression had cycled through confused to amused in about 2 seconds flat. He pressed his lips together, clearly working to keep the smile off his face, and very deliberately took a single step to the left, away from Bakugo. Smart man. Huh? The word was quiet, and that was how you knew it was bad. Bakugo wasn't loud when something actually got to him. He went low and precise, like a blade, finding the gap in armor. He was staring at you from across the room, ash blonde hair, still damp with sweat, jaw tight. His eyes dropped to the green hoodie, to the faded All Might logo, back up to your face. I was cold. You said you were cold. The room is literally freezing, Katsuki. Then, you should have gotten upstairs and gotten your own damn clothes. I was comfortable in studying. He gestured at the textbook. You're wearing Deku's hoodie. From his corner, Midoriya had gone very still. He's been hovering over the page, without moving. He had the particular expression of a man calculating his odds of survival. They were not good. Midoriya lent it to me. You said, it's not a big deal. Take it off. You stared at him. Excuse me. Take it off. Bakugo had crossed the room while you were talking, and now he was standing in front of the couch, arms crossed, the muscle in his jaw doing something involuntary. Up close, you could see that the low danger quiet in his voice was threaded through with something that wasn't just anger. He looked almost offended, genuinely, personally affronted, like you'd shown up wearing someone else's name. Katsuki, you said, softer now. I don't want his smell on you. The words came out blunter than he probably intended. Stripped out of their defenses, his gaze cut away for just a moment. I don't care how that sounds. It sounds incredibly dramatic, Kirishima offered, hopefully from the doorway. Ijiro, I will end you. Hey, it's extremely dramatic now. Kirishima agreed, completely unbothered. He dropped onto the armchair nearby, legs kicked over the side. Also, kind of sweet in a terrifying way. Bakugo turned back to you. You were already pulling the hoodie off. Not because he demanded it, but because you could see underneath the aggression the particular shape of his discomfort, and you'd long since learned the difference between his anger and his hurt. He dropped the green hoodie over the back of the couch. Happy? You asked. He didn't answer. Instead, he grabbed the hem of his own gem shirt and dragged it over his head in one motion, leaving him in just the gray compression tank underneath, and dropped it not very gently in your lap. It was warm, sweat warm, gem warm, Katsuki warm, and it smelled aggressively like him. You looked up. His ears were red. You pulled it on. It was enormous on you. He had a significant amount of muscle, and the sleeves fell past your wrists, just like Midoriya's had. But when Bakugo saw you sitting there in his shirt, something in his posture changed. The tight coil of his shoulders dropped half an inch. His jaw unclenched. He sat down next to you, not touching. He never led with touching, especially not in front of people, but close enough that his thigh pressed against yours, solid and warm. You're still an idiot, he muttered. You gave me your sweaty gem shirt. It's clean sweat. That's not a thing. Kirishima made a noise that was suspiciously close to cooing. You both turned to look at him. He was grinning so wide his eyes had gone to crescents. Not one single word, Bakugo said. Well, I didn't say anything. You were thinking loudly. You leaned your head against Bakugo's shoulder, which he tolerated, visibly, with enormous grace, and picked your textbook up. Across the couch, Midoriya had quietly reclaimed his hoodie and was studiously pretending none of this had happened. Kirishima caught your eye over the top of your book. Mouth, so manly, and you had to bite the inside of your cheek to keep from laughing. Bakugo's hand found your knee under the textbook. He read the same paragraph again, and this time you didn't mind. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you liked this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and goodbye.